What exactly is MVP and why is it important for your business? When should you build an MVP for your project? How can you develop an MVP successfully, and what are the famous examples? Welcome to the Digital Products the YouTube channel, where we discuss practical technologies and approaches that can immediately boost your business or startup and drive success. I am Andriy Sambir and I know how to build software. Today we're going to speak about minimum viable products. Remember to comment below with your thoughts and experience with MVPs. Now let's get started. What is MVP and what for? The term MVP stands for Minimum Viable Product. It's a version of a product with just enough features to satisfy early adopters and gather feedback for future development. The idea behind an MVP is to test your product in the market without investing too much time and money and to learn from your customers' feedback. Why is it important? Well, according to a study by CB Insights, 42% of startups fail because they don't address a real market needs. An MVP helps you to validate idea and ensure you are building something that people want and are willing to pay for. An MVP is not a half-baked product. It's a strategic approach to launching a product with minimum features, allowing you to iterate and improve it based on the customer feedback. MVPs have been around for quite some time, but they gained prominence with the Lean Startup methodology developed by Eric Rice. The Lean Startup encouraged entrepreneurs to build, measure, and learn by releasing early version of their product and iterating based on the feedback. So, let's dive deeper into the reasons for developing an MVP. Cost and time efficiency. Developing a full-featured product can be expensive and time-consuming. An MVP allows you to test the market with a smaller budget and less time investment. This way, you can allocate resources more effectively, reducing the risk of waiting time and money on a product that might not succeed. Focus on core features. When developing an MVP, you have to prioritize the most essential features. That helps to concentrate on what truly matters for your target audience and ensure that your product solves a specific problem effectively. Building a user base. Launching an MVP allows you to start building a user base early on. These early adopters can become your product ambassadors and help spread the word about your product. Attracting investors. MVPs can be a great way to showcase your product's potentials to investors. With a working prototype, you can demonstrate that you have a clear vision and capable for executing it. Speed to market. In today's fast-paced business environment, getting your product to market quickly is essential. By focusing on the most critical features, an MVP allows you to launch your product faster and gain a competitive edge. Better team collaboration. Developing an MVP encourages your team to work closely together, as you'll need to prioritize features and make important decisions on the fly. This fosters better communication and collaboration, ultimately leading to a more successful product. Reducing complexity. By focusing on the essential features, you create a simpler product that's easier for users to understand and navigate. This can lead to higher customer satisfaction and increase adoption rates. Now that we cover the benefits of developing an MVP, let's discuss some practical examples to illustrate the concept. For instance, consider the story of Zappos. The online shoe retailer founder Nick Schwimmer started with the simple MVP. He took photos of shoes from local stores and posted them online. When customers placed orders, he would buy shoes and ship them out. This basic MVP allowed Schwimmer to validate the idea that people were willing to buy shoes online. Another example is Dropbox, the popular file storage and sharing device. Rather than building a fully functional product from the start, the company created a simple video that demonstrates how Dropbox would work. This video MVP generated a lot of interest and sign-ups, validating the idea and helping the company secure funding for further development. By the way, right now you are looking at exactly that video, if you are watching in YouTube, of course. Both of these examples demonstrate the power of an MVP in helping businesses validate their ideas and get valuable feedback from early adopters. Let's now discuss some misconceptions surrounding MVPs. Misconception 1. An MVP is a poorly built product. Many people think that MVP is just a hastily built product with low quality. However, this is not the case. An MVP is a well-crafted, functional product that focuses on delivering the core value proposition to its users. Misconception number 2. An MVP is just for startups. While MVPs are often associated with startups, they can also be useful for established companies looking to launch new product or services. In fact, larger companies may have an advantage in developing MVPs, and they have access to more resources and can iterate more quickly based on feedback. Misconception number 3. An MVP is the final product. An MVP is just the beginning of the product development journey. It's important to remember that the purpose of MVP is gather feedback and learn from users, so you can continually improve and expand your product over time. In summary, an MVP is a valuable tool for any business looking to bring a new product or service to market. By focusing on the most critical features, validating your idea with real users, and iterating based on feedback, you can increase your chances of succeed and minimize the risk of failure. Remember to keep an open mind, embrace feedback, and stay flexible as you embark your MVP journey. One last crucial aspect to consider is the role of analytics and data collection in the MVP process. By closely monitoring user behavior and collecting feedback, you can identify areas for improvement and make data-driven decisions to enhance your product. For instance, you might want to track key performance indicators, KPIs, such as user engagement, conversion rates, and customer satisfaction. By regularly reviewing these metrics, you can make informed decisions on which feature to prioritize and how to iterate your product effectively. It's also important to maintain an ongoing dialogue with your users. Encourage them to provide feedback through surveys, interviews, or online forums. By actively listening to your customers and responding to their needs, you'll be better equipped to make your product a success. As you can see, developing an MVP is a strategic and iterative approach to product development. It helps you to focus on the most important features, test your idea in the market, and gather valuable insights from your target audience. By keeping these principles in mind, you'll be well on your way to creating a successful product that meets the needs of your customers and drives your business forward. Now that we explored what an MVP is and its importance, let's dive deeper into the reasons why you should build an MVP for your business or startup. Reducing risk of failure. As we mentioned earlier, around 20% of startups fail during the first year of their existence. One of the main reasons behind this high failure rate is lack of market validation for their products or services. Efficient resource allocation. As we discussed, an MVP contains a basic product feature essential to provide customers with the necessary solution. This focused approach allows you to allocate your resources more efficiently, ensuring that you are investing in the most crucial aspect of your product. Instead of wasting time and money on developing features that might not be relevant to your users, you can prioritize and invest in what truly matters: valuable first-hand insights. A minimum viable product allows business owners to get valuable first-hand insights into their product. By putting your MVP in the hands of real users, you can gather feedback on its usability, functionality, and overall value proposition. This feedback is invaluable as it helps you understand your customer needs, preferences, and pain points. In turn, you can make informed decisions about which features to prioritize and how to improve your product to better meet the needs of your target audience. Encouraging innovation. Developing an MVP encourages a culture of innovation within your organization. By focusing on delivering the core value proposition and iterating based on feedback, your team is challenged to think creatively and come up with new ideas to enhance your product. This can lead to breakthroughs that set your product apart from the competition and drive your business forward. Building brand credibility. An MVP demonstrates to your target audience that you are serious about solving their problems and committed to delivery value. This can help you establish credibility and trust with your customers, which is essential for long-term success. As your MVP evolves and improves over time, your reputation as a reliable and innovative provider of solutions will grow, further enhancing your brand credibility. As you can see, there are numerous reasons why building an MVP should be a priority for your business or startup. from reducing the risk of failure and efficiency allocating resources to gaining valuable insights and fostering innovation. An MVP can help you navigate the challenging world of product development with confidence. Let's revisit some real-world examples to illustrate the power of MVPs. We've already mentioned Zappos and Dropbox, but there are countless other successful companies that started with MVP approach. Consider Airbnb. The popular home-sharing platform founders Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia initially launched a simple website that allowed users to rent out air mattresses in their apartments to conference attendants. This basic MVP helped them validate the idea that people were interested in affordable, unique accommodations and paved the way to the global platform that Airbnb is today. Another example is Instagram, which started as a location-based check-in app called Bourbon. However, the founders realized that the photo sharing feature of the app was more popular than check-in functionality. They decided to pivot and focus on solely photo sharing, creating a simple MVP that allows users apply filters and share their images with friends. This decision ultimately led to Instagram becoming one of the most popular social media platforms in the world. Remember, if you have any questions about MVPs or would like to share your experience with building an MVP, please leave a comment below. Let's now focus on specific situations where creating an MVP can be the key to success for your product. Here are some instances when an MVP should be a top priority. Testing a niche market. If your product targets a small specialized audience, it's crucial to build an MVP to gauge their interest and needs accurately. This approach will help you tailor your final product to cater the unique preferences and requirements of the specific group, reducing development risk. Developing a full-fledged product without prior validation can be risky, especially if it involves a significant investment of time and resources. An MVP allows you to minimize the risk associated with development by enabling you to test your product core functionalities and gather valuable feedback before moving forward. Prioritizing feature development. With limited resources, it's crucial to prioritize the development of features that have the most significant impact on your product's success. Building an MVP helps you identify the most critical features, allowing you to allocate resources efficiently and focus on developing the features that matter the most. By the way, if you want to know how to prioritize features in the most effective way, we have a video on our channel about that. Pivoting your business. If your business needs to pivot or change direction, building an MVP can help you to test the new direction and ensure it aligns with the market demands. This validation will provide you with the confidence needed to pivot successfully and ensure your new product offering meets the needs of your target audience. Testing new revenue streams. If you're considering adding new revenue streams to your business, building an MVP can help you validate the availability of these new revenue sources. This approach will enable you to assess the potential return on investment and make data-driven decisions about whether to pursue these new opportunities. In summary, building an MVP is an invaluable tool for various scenarios that can help you validate your product idea, gather essential feedback, and ensure your product meets the needs and preferences of your target audience. By understanding when to create an MVP, you can optimize your chances for success and ensure your product is well positioned to thrive in the market. How to build an MVP stages to pass through and examples of successful minimal viable products. So far, we covered that MVP is why it's important and when you should build one. Now, let's dive into the process of building an MVP and take a look at some famous examples of successful minimal viable products. Building an MVP can be broken down into several stages, each essential to the overall process. Let's go through these stages step by step. Study your market. Before you start building an MVP, it's crucial to understand the market you're targeting. Research your competitors, identify trends, and pinpoint the problems your target audience is facing. This will help you to determine the unique value proposition your product can offer. Draw a map of your ecosystem. Once you have a clear understanding of the market, create a map of the ecosystem in which your product will operate. This includes identifying your target customers, partners, suppliers, and any other stakeholders who may be involved in your product success. This will help you visualize the relationship between different entities and ensure that your MVP addresses their needs effectively. Consider the product feature. With a solid understanding of your market and ecosystem, it's time to brainstorm the features that will make up your MVP. Focus on the core functionality that will deliver the most value to your users and solve their most pressing problems. Remember, the goal is to create a lean, functional product that can be tested and iterated upon quickly. Define the value proposition for each stakeholder. Your MVP should deliver value not only to your users, but also to other stakeholders involved in your product success. Clearly define the value proposition for each stakeholder to ensure that your MVP addresses their needs and expectations. Investigate your customer journey. Dive deep into your customer's journey from discovering your product to becoming a loyal user. Identify the main points they may encounter along the way, ensure that your MVP addresses their issues effectively. This will help you to create a more seamless user experience. Posit a final MVP. Based on your research and brainstorming, determine the final version of your MVP. This should include the essential features that deliver the most value to your user stakeholders, as well as plan for the test and gather the feedback to iterate upon your product. Identifying the biggest risk. Building an MVP involves taking risk, and it's crucial to identify the most significant risk associated with your product. This could be technical challenges, market uncertainties, or potential competitors. By identifying this risk upfront, you can develop a plan to mitigate them and increase your chances of success. Choose your object project management framework and assign to managers responsibilities. To ensure a smooth development process, select a project management framework that aligns with your team's strengths and capabilities. Assign a project manager to oversee the development of your MVP and ensure that your team stays on track and meets deadlines. Launch, get feedback, and iterate. Finally, launch your MVP to your target audience and gather feedback from real users. Analyze this feedback to identify areas for improvements and iterate upon your product based on these insights. This continuous feedback loop will help you refine and enhance your MVP, ultimately leading to a more successful product. Now that we covered the process of building an MVP, let's look at some famous examples of successful minimum viable products that have gone on to become the hugely successful businesses. Amazon. When Amazon first launched, it was an online bookstore with a limited selection of books. By focusing on this niche, Amazon was able to test a market and gather valuable feedback before expanding its offering to become the global e-commerce giant we know today. Foursquare's initial MVP was a simple mobile app that allowed users to check in at various locations and earn points for doing so. This basic functionality enabled the company to test its concept and gather user feedback before expanding its features and evolving into the fully fledged location-based social network. Angelist. Angelist began as a simple email list connecting startups with the potential investors. This MVP allowed the company to validate its idea and gather feedback from users before developing a more sophisticated platform for connecting startups with funding and resources. Spotify's initial MVP was a basic music streaming service that allowed users to search for songs and create playlists. By focusing on these core features, Spotify was able to validate its concept, gather user feedback, and iterate on its product before becoming the global music streaming powerhouse it is today. These examples illustrate the power of an MVP in validating product ideas, gathering user feedback, and iterating on a concept to achieve success. By following the steps outlined in this video and learning from these successful MVPs, you can increase the likelihood of your own product success and drive your business forward. That's wrap up our discussion on building an MVPs and some famous examples of successful minimum viable product. We hope you found this information valuable and that it inspires you to consider building an MVP for your next product idea. If you have any questions or experiences related to building an MVP, be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more valuable content and building digital product that can boost your business or startup.